Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Hollywood Animal. I hope you're having a wonderful day today. We just finished the casting office. We get to hire new actors, directors, and cinematographers now. Very exciting times. It also means that we can potentially get talent that is well beyond the talent we currently have, although it will cost us more money. So we do have to be conscious of our budgets on things as well. Might even cost us a little bit more than our money as well. Now we have a new thing that popped up. It says sometimes accidents happen during the production of a film. You can intervene and try to solve the problem, or you can just ignore it, although that's unlikely to help the film. So let's take a look and see what this is. Sarah Frid brought a cat to the set. The thing ran away, and now Sarah is crying nonstop and can't focus on her role. Let's see her traits here. What she got? She has undisciplined, violates agreements, spits on the unspoken rules, and wreaks havoc on deadlines and schedules. Okay. So that's great. We're probably not going to want to use her anymore. Now that we have a casting office, we can fire Sarah. We can get a new actress to replace Sarah in our lineup. Probably a good idea. She's also a drug addict, which makes her erratic and hard to control. So this is just a bad actress. We just don't want anything to do with Sarah if we can help it. But here's our options. Those aren't my problems. Her happiness will decrease, her loyalty will decrease, and it will result in a lower quality film. Or we can say, tell everyone to look for her cat. Her loyalty will go up, and the filming will stop for 10 days. So I don't know about the whole quality of the film going down. It's probably not a great film anyway, to be honest. I'm thinking we just let her go because I plan to fire her anyway and let her go anyway. We probably should just do that. She does have an existing contract that, contract conditions are 3 years. We might have to pay her a severance on that to get rid of her, or I can just let her linger. If the severance is more than what she'll end up paying her anyway, I can just let her linger and never use her as well. But these things are not great to have on your actress. So I think I'm going to let, I don't want the film to suffer, to be honest. It's only 10 days. If there's a chance this film can make money, maybe we let it delay. I'm gonna let it delay. So this is gonna pause production, right? She has a tendency to cause delays because of her behavior. So that's something that we're gonna have to address and look into. Now, for the pre-production office, we now have the ability to hire actors, directors, and cinematographers to help us on our journey. And right away, I see Gabriel Keller, an outstanding cinematographer, but he has very little loyalty. Incredibly low. He avoids conversations and activities that he considers indecent or immoral. He's also arrogant, looks at others with disdain. Man, but is he good though? Yes, he is good. He would also cost a lot. Okay, these things right here are indicators as to how much we got to put in the jar, right? I don't know exactly what this symbol is supposed to be. It looks kind of like a jar to me. It could also be like a little camera. It could be a lot of things here. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna call it just like a change jar. And we have to put this much economic value basically in to get him. So he's very expensive. This guy would be significantly cheaper than this guy. All right, but that's how cinematographers work right there. For directors, kind of the same thing. And directors are actually much easier to get. You want directors that have positive traits if possible, but most of the traits you're going to find on people are going to be less than favorable for you. Now, this guy's diligent. He knows that good results demand a lot of time and effort. His attention and work ethic help him push through overwork and mental pressure. This is actually a really good director to have, and we might want to find ways to incorporate him into our workflow and get him happier if we can get him happier. So I'm going to take Joseph Phillips, because he's got a good workflow and a good work ethic. I'm going to grab him. Now, the reason why I'm grabbing a director is because we have 2 scripts right now that are about to pop, but we only have 2 directors. And so we have a current film that we're currently shooting, and then we have 2 more that's coming. I don't have enough directors, so I need another director anyway. When we negotiate contracts, we can do so for either a number of movies, which changes the parameters of what they would like for us to negotiate with. So in other words, the contract type is going to add. So in other words, this guy, for example, it looks like he has a preference for being hired per movie. If we hire him for a set amount of time, he'll actually require more pay as a result of that. But we could use him for more pictures over the course of the next, say, 3 years. We might be able to get 2 or 3 movies out of him. I don't know if that's actually the case because things are taking a while. So I'm actually going to just start by hiring him per movie. And I'm going to get a 3-movie contract with him, which of course raises the stakes even more. And what I can do is I can add money to this until he's happy. So in this case, I'm going to hire him for 3 movies specifically. It doesn't matter exactly, how long it takes us to get there, but 3 films is what his contract is for. And it's 3.7 thousand. Now, if we decide to hire him for longer than this, we can always offer him a new contract. It can be renewed. We can work on the different terms for that later on. But we kind of just want to feel him out, right? And I think he's going to be all right. So I'm going to go ahead and offer him $3,500 for 3 movies of his time. I can also add additional offers over here if I have any available. These are things like medical insurance, or I can set him up in a hotel suite, or I can offer him a fancy watch. These are things that my services department can eventually develop for us. And that adds economic value to pop into the cookie jar here. I mean, I think it's like a jar, right? I don't know what that symbol is. All right, anyway, let's hit this. We're going to sign him for 3 movies. So we have another director that we can use now. Perfect. Let's see what our assortment of actors are like. First off, I want to replace the troublemaker that we already got going on with us. Joan Butler seems like she's doing all right. Amy Wells seems like she could be an okay one, although she's lazy and conceited. And then we have Floyd Sarver. Now, Floyd, he's special, okay? Because Floyd is established, okay? That means he is known for these things. He is actually a rising star. And this guy, having him in our film, can move people to get to the theater. They enjoy seeing him. Now, he's an alcoholic, which kind of makes him unpredictable and maybe even a little aggressive at times, but he's at least more well-known. He's also going to cost more as a result, but we could use him in movies to move people's butts to their seats, okay? So that's possibility into the future. So he likes drama, adventure. He's got an established role as a hopeless romantic, as well as serial killers. I mean, these are all great things, and he's been hopeless romantic and serial killer for the last four films. He's also acting in adventure roles for the last 4 films. So this is interesting. We could use this as a hopeless romantic setup for an adventure movie, or we could set him up for a serial killer role in like a new detective thriller that we're going to be writing, right? So we got to take a look at that, and we could possibly use him for our next thing. Now, obviously, being this is a demo, there's always going to be some things that are not necessarily done, like error, non-event, or whatever, but this is essentially just the rising star thing, okay? If we want to hire him, he's going to be much more expensive. We're going to put a pin in that for now. He might go away as well. He might become unavailable as well, but there will always be somebody around here that that we can hire. And that's the great part about having the casting office. This is why we got the casting department. All right, we can develop new story elements now. Our script department has now upgraded to allow us to develop new story elements. This is fantastic. Now we could increase this by saying that we can do it every 6 months. We can then get it every 3 months, and we can get it every month. We can really just start ramping up how fast we can come up with new story elements. Or I can enable us to be able to use more story elements per film. And that's what I want to do first. So we're going to put 10 grand into this to get this 10 days. That's only 10 days. I mean, is it worth it for 10 days? I don't know if it's worth for 10 days. Whatever. I got $24 million. Let's do it for 10 days. We'll get this sooner. That way we can start using more story elements in a film. That's going to make us more capable of generating a really good story for us, right? Pre-production technologies, we're still 118 days away from having the good tech, or at least the better tech on our cameras and stuff as well. Okay, so our security guy is unsuccessful in lowering it. Now, the secret's not discovered yet, but there's still that medium risk. He was unsuccessful in bringing it down. So that's just how that works. It will now continue to be a thing for another 70 days, all right? It would have been nice. Oh, never mind. I don't know what he failed at then. I'm not sure what he failed at. Maybe he failed at I don't know. It worked. It's lowered. I mean, maybe it's just the timer, right? So maybe he tried to do it and then before the timer, and then the timer hit anyway. I don't know. Either way, we're at a low risk now. Little weird, right? I mean, it'd be nice to have more explanation on that, but okay, it's fine. Let's let the time run a little bit more here. Anne Rose, hi, our chief communications officer. She says, the influential French magazine Le Regard d'Or is holding a semi-secret party in Los Angeles at the end of the month. People say they're preparing to break a big story about American cinema. Apparently, their editor-in-chief is fascinated by Hollywood. This would be a great chance for our studio to make a name for itself, but unfortunately, only A-list actors are invited to the event. Maybe it would be nice for us to have one like that. Okay. So by the end of the month, we can sign a contract with somebody suitable that qualifies as an A-lister, okay? And then we can send somebody out. So I like that. So we'll do that by the end of the month. And it's going to explain with the actors and stuff and thing, but I already explained that. All right, let's pause it really quick. We'll go back to our casting department here. And we actually have more choices now. There's more people available now, which is fine. So we have another rising star here, and then we have Audrey Williamson. She's actually a promising talent. I believe that's one step up, right? Star, superstar, legend, promising talent, commanding presence, true artist, icon. Maybe they're just rating them differently because they're a woman. I'm not sure, because they're the same level, but it's a completely different thing. Interesting. Okay, anyway, so we have Audrey Williamson. Now, it would be cheaper for us, just the way it is. Sorry, ladies, in the 1920s, it would be cheaper for us to hire Audrey than it would to hire both of these gentlemen. Purely because she's a woman, she is going to cost us less. Recent genre, thriller, adventure, drama, romance. We could get her into a movie here, too. She's also really good at playing the angry boss, apparently. All right, I'm thinking maybe we could get her in like a Devil Wears Prada kind of movie. Right, she could be our Meryl Streep, maybe. We got Billy Globe, and he's 25. And again, rising star. He's also a racist, conceited. What is she? She's a melancholic. Okay, closed off, quiet, easily damaged. She has a hard time dealing with criticism and failure. Oh boy. But she's also a team player. Knows how to cooperate for a common goal, but isn't ready to take charge or accept too much responsibility. Well, we need one of them for this. And I think we might be able to use her to replace our bad actress. I might replace our bad actress with her. Let's see if we can sign her on. Those will cut, kill two birds with one stone kind of thing here. We can replace our bad actress and get somebody who qualifies as a promising talent. All right, so if I want to sign her, I'm going to sign her for 3 years. It's going to cost me a bit, but I'm going to get her on board for 3 years if I can. Let's go ahead and just pay her the money that she needs. I don't have any other offers for her other than cash. So you can see how these guys cost a lot more than the other actors did, right? This is $40,000 to use her for this film. It's kind of crazy, but we're going to go ahead and do it for 3 years. We're going to get Audrey Williamson on board. And now we can use her for as many movies as we want to for the next 3 years. So maybe more than 3 movies, right? We can do that. It might be a good idea to get another A-lister with us too. They could even work in tandem and work with each other, right? Having 2 good names could help us here, but I don't know if I like having maybe Floyd. Floyd might be interesting because of the whole thriller serial killer aspect of what he's known for. This might be better for us. I'm going to grab Floyd as well if I can. We're going to sign him for 3 years as well. So we're going to go 3 years for you. And obviously, you can see he costs a lot more. He also has a self-importance complex, which is raising the price on us. And then just being known for things also raises it up too. Now, I don't have any other offers, which might have been helpful. But in my experience with it so far, when I was playtesting this, they're not worth much. Like medical insurance is worth $5. Like it's not worth very much. So it's not a big deal. So I think I'm going to grab and say like 50,000, and he still wants even more than that. So this guy is demanding a lot of cash. I might pass on that. We could instead, since we already got our A-lister for the party, we could instead try to get somebody and like make a star. Let's find somebody who doesn't have any problems right now, and we can make a star out of them maybe. So we can find somebody like who's some like young person who's just really ready to go. Leonard Ray. You're not very happy though, but we could use you in some movies here. Libidinous, the sex drive thing, it might cause a problem here. I want someone who can really work with our A-list talent, and we could make you more How about Timothy Lewis? You seem interesting. Romance movies, you're interested in that. Criminal mastermind, you play the cop, a bandit, clumsy oaf. Hey, clumsy oaf movie, right? We can make a rom-com out of you. Maybe. Cop movies, criminal masterminds, damsel in distress kind of thing could be a thing. Maybe. I think maybe Timothy Lewis has some premise here, and he's very cheap. We could make something work with Timothy. He doesn't have any negative traits, too, so let's see if we can hire Timothy, get him on board. We're going to make a star out of you, boy. And you're going to do it for real cheap. So there you go, Timothy. Just 6.6 thousand. I like it. Let's sign some people here, eh? I want a really good cinematographer, though. That's the problem. And I don't want to pay Gabriel Keller rates because he's very expensive. But I need someone like him, right? I need someone who's good at this. Jasper, he's not great yet, but look at how cheap he is. This dude is desperate to work on it. And he's very comfortable both on location and in sound studios. He's insanely cheap. I gotta hire him just because he's costing me nothing. I could basically just say, hey, dude, I'll give you health insurance, and he's in, right? That's crazy. Look at this. I'm gonna pay this guy $300. I'm gonna pay him for 3 years. Heck yeah, get this guy. It is gonna cost me $700. You're signed. Welcome aboard the team. I really hope he doesn't cause any problems for me. But he's not inexperienced completely, right? He's got 1.6. He's not completely inexperienced. We could maybe, like I said, we can make a star out of him potentially here. Now I don't know what these are. I think what these are is that they work for other studios. This is the logo for those other studios, and their contracts expire in this many days. So if we want to hire them, we have to wait till their contracts expire, and they're probably going to be quite competitive. I think that's what this stuff is. Man, having Jasper Edwards would be nice, wouldn't it? Oh, if we had good location scouting, which we don't have yet. For directors, maybe we can get... doesn't think of women as real people. Jeez, I don't really want misogynists on my team. How about we get Walter Campbell? He doesn't have any negatives, which, probably also makes him kind of uninteresting here. Unbiased, here's one. Forms his own opinions about people without regard for their background or physical characteristics. Also avoids conversations. We could hire both of these directors. I'd be all right with that. Now, we don't want to hire too many people, right? Because that means we have to make more movies. So we can also hire them again for just a number of movies. So maybe we hire Bob Barry for a number of movies, and we grab Walter Campbell for a number of movies. We could just hire them for a number of movies even. It might be cheaper that way. So we'll say 3 movies for Bob. And we're going to grab you, let's say, for 2.7 thousand. There you go. And then we'll also go in and try to get Walter Campbell. Since you're really happy and you don't have any negative traits yet or anything like that, we're going to try to hire you for a 3-year term, since you're actually really cheap to do that with. So we can, again, make more movies, get you some good experience, and hopefully make some money with you. So $1,500. There you go. So we got, I think, a good crew here. I still don't have the cinematographer that I'm looking for, but I really don't want to pay his rates. So what I might do instead, because he's so good, I'm going to hire him for 1 movie. We're going to get a 1 movie contract with this guy, which is still going to be incredibly expensive. But he's so good at what he does that he can really make a movie that would otherwise flop, probably do okay. And God, he's just too expensive, isn't he? Am I really gonna pay this much for a dude to do 1 movie? $25,000 for 1 movie. I don't know. I'm gonna second guess this. I want to make more films, and I can't make more films if I don't have the crew. Let's see what kind of impact he can have on 1 film. All right, we'll commit this for 1 movie. Gabriel Keller signed for just 1. We need to pick the right film for him, though. All right? So no crappy scripts. We want to make sure that whatever movie he makes for us does really well. We're going to see if we can't make that happen. And then I'm looking for, again, a hot-tempered, undisciplined, chaste. diligent work ethic. I like that. Lee Jones, he's only really comfortable in soundstage, but that's fine. We just need another one so I can make more films. He's not great. That's the problem, is that so we need to get a lot of cheap scripts. Unfortunately, that's just the reality of the situation when you're a young studio. You just need a lot of cheap scripts. Kick out films, and as long as you're making a lot of films and making a little bit of money on each one, you're doing fine. So we're going to hire this guy for 3 years so that I can make a whole bunch of really cheap films with him. And maybe get him... this is too much money for you, though. It is. It is actually too much money for him. Yeah, I don't like it. You know what? Let's make a movie. Let's stop hiring people for a second. Let's make a film, okay? So we got a whole bunch. We got 2 scripts that we've got here now. We should look at making a movie now for a specific actor. Like, let's write a screenplay for a specific actor. And I'm thinking we write something for Audrey. Let's get our money's worth out of Audrey here so that we can do this. So Audrey Williamson, she has The Evil Witch, Angry Boss. She's done a Daring Adventurer thing, but she looks like she's got a lot of Angry Boss movies here. Adventure, thriller, drama, romance. Okay. She's 27 years old, too. Interesting. Would you be willing to work with Peter? I think we can maybe make that happen. And what have you done, Gabriel? Are you sidekick, criminal mastermind, cop, clumsy oaf, rival? Okay, I want to make a film that really incorporates Audrey's strengths while introducing new talent in to try to get them a little bit of experience and notoriety. And I think I can probably make this work with Timothy, Audrey, and either Peter or Gabriel, depending on what the film is. But he's currently shooting Drink from My Skull. So if I'm going to do this, I probably should use Peter, which is fine. They're all around the same age anyway. We could do a rom-com sort of situation. She's done romance stuff in the past, but it doesn't work that way. A romance adventure wouldn't be so bad. It would be interesting if we can make it kind of flow together at some point. She does this stuff. You know, they all have these things that they do. Timothy looks like he's interested more in doing the criminal mastermind thing. Let me brainstorm a film really quick and see if I can't get something that I think works for these guys. We definitely don't want David because he's a misogynist. We're going to put Jane Fisher on ice just temporarily for this film. And then as soon as the Drink from My Skull movie flops hard, as soon as they're done shooting this, I'm probably getting rid of Sarah. I'm probably not going to use her because I don't like the undisciplined drug addict stuff. I want to replace her with Audrey, right? So, although honestly, this trait right here might actually be worse than the cat. So this might actually end up biting me, but we'll see. Let me brainstorm a film that we can use for this. I'll be right back. Okay, so the idea I have in my head right now is I am naming the movie A Jester's Tale. What I see here is a comedy movie that takes place in a fantasy, with a fantasy adventure and some action, okay? And we're not going to bother with romance right now. What we're going to do here is we're going to have a pretty good amount of action, a good amount of adventure, and quite a bit of comedy. So this is going to be kind of a decent mixture here. I think it could work. We're going to set this up in a fantasy kingdom, and basically we're going to have our new actor play as the clumsy oaf. Okay, he gets into ridiculous situations. He blunders through it with a little bit of good-heartedness and perseverance and a lot of luck. Okay, as the antagonist, we have an evil witch that's going to come into the kingdom and start wrecking things. Okay, we have the clumsy oaf is going to have himself a sidekick. He's going to help him through all these really strange situations. Confident right-hand man, or again, in this case, a funny sidekick. And I have the perfect actor for that because not only does he play his sidekicks quite often, but he also has a lot of experience in comedy. So these two guys are going to be really well picked. And I think, again, this movie is kind of being formed for the actor's strengths is what I'm looking for here. For the themes and events, I haven't looked at this yet, so I have to kind of look at it here. Maybe there's a jousting tournament. Winning love, I don't really want to do that. Avenging loved ones, that could be a thing. Struggle for life. Treasure hunt doesn't really work for me right now. And Avenging Loved Ones really doesn't work for me much at all. I don't like any of these, to be honest. But maybe we have someone who's struggling for a better life for himself and his family. That seems like it's not really good for a comedy so much, for an action movie so much. I don't really like any of these themes, so maybe we just skip them. For the supporting characters then, if we wanted to add another character, we could. I don't believe anyone here is going to have a problem with women, since my evil witch is a woman. So perhaps we get ourselves like a damsel in distress potentially here. And then in the end, the protagonist rescues the hostage. Okay, so again, we're kind of throwing a little bit of a mulligan here because I have to go based on what I've got to work with. So we have a clumsy oaf. He's like a jester. He's doing all the things in the court. Then the evil witch comes in, wrecks all the things, terrorizes all the places. We got our sidekick here. He's going to help. She takes some woman hostage, and our jester's just like, oh no, we have to save her. What are we going to do? And then eventually in the end, he rescues the hostage. I mean, it's pretty empty at the moment. I wish I had more cards to work with, but we can go ahead and send that off to script writing. Now, the only writer we have right now is our romance writer, and that's not good. So we're going to need to shelve this story and get ourselves a kick-ass writer that goes along with this, unfortunately. So let's find a good writer for this. And we don't have any really good writers right now. I want a really good writer, especially for like our new top talent, right? We need a good writer. So I guess we're going to wait about 18 days, I suppose. And when one of these are done, we'll probably have our comedy writer do it, because I think having the comedic influence of this is probably going to be better, but maybe the adventure will work. I don't know. We'll see. Here we go. Say Le Regard d'Or party was a great success, and Audrey Williamson shone as brightly as the other stars. Maybe now our competitors will stop looking down on us. We're going to gain a bit more fame and renown, okay? It's going to be a little bit more well-respected, okay? That's going to work really well for in our favor there. Evergreen Movies is releasing As Fun As It Gets. That's a good title for a movie, actually. As Fun As It Gets, yeah. I mean, honestly, it's kind of pulling off As Good As It Gets, right? Which is also a pretty good title. So here's the winner. It starts off as a pretty good film, actually. Might even be able to use her for this. We can just shelve our script, right? Felix gains a new level. That's great. He's the writer we want for our action movies. And this is an action adventure plot. Now, the script's ratings are even higher than the writer's score because of how well the story elements fit together. That's on me, man, okay? So I put these elements together and they work cohesively. And because of that, the film is improved, at least the script anyway, is improved because of that. We have protagonist finding treasure in an adventure movie with an island, of course, works really well with treasure hunts and stuff. All the stuff kind of works cohesively together. Good. Now we get to start the project. So maybe we start using our top talent on this one since it's a decent script. It turned out okay. And our talent can make it even better. So for the cinematographer, this could be our film for him. It could be. We don't have great locations though. And I kind of want my location scouting to be done before I use him, if I'm being honest. But we probably could use him for this. Real quick, we can go into freelance employees. And this is a way to quickly access the list of cinematographers for a one movie contract. So we don't have to hire them in the other screen. We can quickly access them here if we want to as well. And, well, I don't know if this is the right movie for him, but I really want to give this movie a chance. The winner could be a winner, right? So maybe we will let Gabriel shine here and see what he can do with it, since the script is okay as is. Gabriel should be able to improve the score of this film. He should be able to anyway. The problem I'm going to have here is his loyalty is so low. And he also is going to probably have conversations. No, not this. Looks down at others. Yeah, with disdain. And likes to talk down to them from a position of superiority. This might not work for us, but I kind of want to give the script a chance. So I'm going to let him try this and we'll see what goes. We're going to use this level 1 soundstage. He's good kind of anywhere, but our locations are going to be crap anyway. We have a lot of locations for this, so having bad locations is actually not great. For the island stuff, we'll probably go ahead and just have this be in the soundstage, should be okay. For the sea, we'll do this in the soundstage. For the jungle, we'll do this in the soundstage. The coast and the seashore, that stuff kind of feels like we could get one location for that, so maybe we'll go ahead and try that out. but we don't need to travel to an island. That's going to be very expensive to do that. Even the soundstage for the island costs more than the seashore location on location. And it also, takes more filming time. So the island that's a big expense. So we don't necessarily want to try that. Native settlements, caves, waterfalls. These types of things are usually pretty hard to find. Waterfall, maybe not so much, but the caves and native settlements and stuff, we could do all of those in the soundstage. So we'll try that out, see how it goes. We'll see if the cinematographer can make this script even better. Filming technology is not quite caught up yet. We're working on it, but right now we're at black and white films. So it's kind of just the way it is. It's the way technology is at the time. We're also going to provide plenty of crew to give this a better chance to working too. One thing I might consider here, because of we have a really expensive cinematographer and we have him for only one movie, the one thing I might consider instead is waiting until we have that upgrade, that quality upgrade for the camera. It's only another 100 days or so. And that might be the one where we should use this on the film where we have a great actress as well. So that's something to consider, actually. Why don't we start this again and give it to Harry? I realize that this is going to reduce the score, but I think really the fact that I paid this guy over $20,000, I kind of do want to change that a little bit. So the seashore, coast, we'll have those on location, native settlement, cave, waterfall. We'll kind of do that right there. And we'll put all those back, but we'll put Harry here instead, who's very calm, which is great for an action adventure movie. Maybe it isn't. Jasper, want to give you a chance? The alcoholic? Maybe we'll give Jasper a chance. Hell, we'll just really crash this, aren't we? This is going to turn out to be a bad movie just because of that decision, but I really want to save him. We're going to give you plenty of crew to help you out, though. All right, continue this. Now, for the producer, Roy, he's back, the gambler, right? We'll get him in there. For our director, we can get Anthony Campbell on this. He is disciplined, so that should keep everybody on task. That's going to be good. Our daring adventurer. Who's going to be our daring adventurer? All right. Now, I was making a script for those three to work together, but now I'm thinking I want to give somebody a little bit of a chance here. So adventurer, he's performed as an adventurer before, but he's never been an adventurer. And I'm not sure if that's going to hurt me or not. However, we have the rival as a part as well. And I'm looking at who's done what in the past. I'm thinking I want David as the rival. And our protagonist here, we're going to let... I might give him a chance. He's played in thrillers. He's played in adventure movies before. It could work okay. The thing is that Peter, though, he's played in this whole genre. He's got the whole kit for this movie. So he's actually kind of a better fit than the new guy anyway, just because of his history. So why don't we let these two guys handle the roles there for now. Okay, I'm going to put my stamp on this. I realize I'm going to drop the score because I'm not using the really good cinematographer, but I think there's probably a better movie in the future to use him on. We've also got Dancing in the Rain. Now, this is our rom-com, right? So we're going to want to give this a shot, too. And it's a decent script as well. Edwin Pierce, all that stuff, cool. Dancing in the Rain is there. This stuff also is going to work fairly well as far as the cohesiveness of everything, so that's going to help out as well. And if we sit down at the table here, we're going to finally get to use our actresses, too. So the cinematographer for this one, we're going to give this to Harry. He's calm. That's fine. Soundstage 2, you guys can have that. City streets, interiors, we'll take a look at. We'll do this in the soundstage. I think the bar and the church can handle it in the soundstage, but on the city streets, I want that grand scale. I want people to really feel like they're in the city. So we're going to go on location in the city streets. For the store, market, diner, I think we can probably handle all of those in the soundstage as well. So we'll go ahead and do that. It's a fairly low budget film in that regard. Head over here for the filming tech. Same filming tech as we've had before. It's a little bit more crew. I don't know if it's necessary to do that. We're going to hold off on that just for a little bit of cost savings there. For the producer, I need another producer. So we can hire another freelance, or we can actually hire a producer to work with us, which I think is probably going to be better. But for now, just to get this going, we'll hire a freelance. And let's say, it doesn't show his achievements or status. I like you. Anthony Holmes, I want to hire you. Perfectionist doesn't improve the result. Okay, you know what? It's fine. Let's take a lot of perfectionists here. Arrogant dude. Chaz. You know what? Let's take Alton. We'll get Alton on this one. And I'm going to hire the humble guy for like a longer term thing. I'm going to get him on the contract if I can. So we're just going to pay you a quick $2,500 to do this single movie. Now, important note about the freelancer contracts. You pay them right away. But if you remove them from this role, you've paid them money, but you've now taken out the contract. If you want to put them back, you're going to have to pay them again. So, yeah, and that's my experience with it. Maybe it's not supposed to be that way, but that's my experience with it. So once you pay for the freelancer to do it, that's what you've got. All right. So don't move him. Director. Let's get, let's see. Chess forms his own opinions on people. It's not bad. Diligent. Let's put Joseph Phillips on there. Our hopeless romantic is going to be Jane Fisher. She's all about this. Love interest, sidekick, strict parent, femme fatale, but she's done romance before. Maybe not though. Should I give Audrey the chance to be the hopeless romantic? Probably not though, right? Let's let Jane Fisher handle this. And then Timothy, you're the love interest. Now, you've never been a love interest before. You've been a clumsy oath, but you've been in romance movies before. So let's give you a chance to flex your love muscles. That's a really bad way of wording it, but that's where I went. I went there. And then the rival. I mean, that could be you, right? You're not recently a rival, but you've been in romance movies before. Let's put Audrey in as the rival. 27, 29, and 41. Those two can go well together, right? I kind of like this. I think this one can work really well. Really quick, I want to see if she's ever been... She's been the love interest before. Yeah, okay. I don't know if this is the right fit, but we're gonna make this work, okay? We're gonna see if this can help out. If that can help us with our scores. It's possible our scores will always drop when we get going with production because of our inability to have great locations. And we don't have great props and all those types of things. So our score will almost always drop in this stage simply because of those things. What I'm hoping, though, is that the talent will bring it back up. Edwin Pierce. Have you heard of Wandering Malcolm? God knows what his real name is. Everyone just calls him Wandering Malcolm. For 4 years straight, he's been knocking on the door of every film studio he can find, script under his arm. He's an odd one, sometimes real noisy, even a little scary. Sometimes he calms down and gets all sad and sits smoking by the side of the road. He's refusing to submit his script for consideration or even share the synopsis. Says he's afraid someone will steal his brilliant ideas. Oh boy. He'll only agree to sell it for $1,000 cash, money in advance. This morning, he literally jumped on top of my car when I arrived at work. I even managed to get a look at the title page of his script, Rotten Fates. While the madman was scrambling around on my windshield, I was about to call... oh, there's a period there. My bad. I was about to call security, but then I thought, what the hell? Maybe today we'll take a risk. He can't write any worse than our regular studio parasites. Hey, now. You're the head of the department. Come on now. All right. We don't have great writers, so I suppose that is the case. I mean, it's $1,000, relatively low risk, and maybe it's an okay script. Let's see what he's got. Whoa. Okay. Jay Perry, Rotten Fates, 8.5 and an 8.1. It is a hopeless romantic in a modern city. We're dealing with a drama romance thriller. All right, interesting. There's a love interest and a rival, a love triangle. That makes sense. Star-crossed lovers. They're unable to overcome their differences or adversity. Okay, adversity. So this is like a love story where it doesn't work out. That's not conventional, but it can work. The right writing, it can work. I don't think I have the right writing, but this is the writing. It's done. He's already written it. So maybe it will work. I can say start the project, but I don't have the right people for this. Maybe this is what I give. Maybe this is what I give Gabriel Keller. I mean, this is a great script, right? Maybe this is what we give him. We don't have an extra soundstage right now, and I'm kind of waiting for the soundstage 2. So we could put a pin in this. We don't have to do it yet. We can put a pin in it. It's just going to sit down here for a bit. And that's kind of okay with me to have it just sitting here. It's in the planning stages, right? It's not a big deal if it just sits there for a bit. That seems like a good thing. This doesn't. David Gutman. After 5 days of heavy drinking, David Gutman fell out of his third-floor apartment window straight onto the sidewalk. Fortunately, he walked away with a few bruises. You fell more than 30 feet, and you're coming out away with just bruises? Okay. We'll have to get you a Captain America role next. Well, maybe not you. Maybe not you. But not before he spent some time crawling around to the amusement of the passersby. Okay. As he was crying and calling for his mother, and as luck would have it, a Los Angeles Tribune reporter was passing by. The next day, everyone was talking about David Gutman's wild behavior. Okay. So we got a little bit of a scandal. It doesn't affect us yet, but it would affect any film he's in. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. All right, pre-production results for the winner. Again, took a little bit of a chance, but we know the score is going to drop because of the quality of people that we have and the quality of everything else that we have. So we know that the quality of this is going to drop going into it anyway. This is not a surprise. What we want, though, is for people to get experience. So everything drops because of this. Let's start production. We started with a great script to start with, so that's great. Getting another security person would be a good thing. Who's in this movie again? It's just Peter and David. We don't have any high profile names, so I think it's fine probably to omit security from this one. Let's go ahead and start production. It's fine. Okay. So in 4 more days, we're going to have this one too. I think I probably do want security at some point on some of these films. So why don't we get somebody really cheap if possible? You're pretty cheap. Larry Globe. Get you some experience. Your name is Larry Globe. All right, then. Drink from My Skull is done. Makes very little sense, this title. I almost want to see the film. And after production, it's gone up a little bit. Okay. Sure. Sure. We got Russell Simmons, Gabriel Witkowski, Sarah Frid leveled up. That's fine. We're probably going to fire you. Unless we can get rid of your traits, we're probably going to fire you. And Kevin Day on security gets a little bit of experience there too. Good director. Yeah, okay. All right, not bad. Cool. So Sarah Frid's loyalty to the studio increased, and that helped this. Filming stopped for 10 days, which decreased it. But ultimately, because we made her happier, she was able to focus. She's a little bit more loyal to the project, and because she performed better, the rating went up. So that works. Okay, cool. Now let's send it to the cutting floor. So, editor, we're going to get Emma on this one. Let's go ahead and grab Lewis for our composer. And we're going to give this the best chance it can to succeed. So we'll pay a little extra to have all these things happen. And yeah, let's go ahead and start the post-production process there. 30 days. I feel like that's pretty quick for post-production. With linear editing, I feel like 30 days is... Well, I guess it depends on the film, but I feel like 30 days is actually pretty fast. Dancing in the Rain. All right, cool. So let's see how this one did. I don't expect much, right? Again, every time we make a movie at this point, when it hits pre-production, it will drop it simply because we do not have quality locations and such, right? We just don't have them. But maybe the talent behind it can make it better. Our producers already raised the score, but everyone else reduced it. That's just the way it's going to be. Dancing in the Rain is going to have some security personnel on it. So because we have Jane Fisher and our top talent is here. So we want to make sure that they are covered by security. Level 1 security, albeit, but at least somebody's there. So let's start that production now. Okay, hopefully our talent can bring that score up on that film. I don't have a whole lot of... I don't know what the operation it's talking about is. I wish I could figure that out. What operation is it talking about? Because it's not being discovered. Right? Like, nobody's discovering the secret yet. At least it hasn't told me that it is. We still have it. 17 days until the risk goes down. I really think it's just he has some kind of task that he's doing to try to lower it without this. I still think that's that. If you know what that is, please let me know in the comments down below. We need to pause this really quick. And I tried to hit the space bar, but the game has not given me the option to rebind keys in the demo, and it doesn't pause time with space bar. It's been very annoying, but I just got there in time to click this. So Timothy Lewis can't focus on his role because a fortune teller predicted his imminent death. Oh my God, Timothy. You don't have anything here, but apparently we need to put in susceptible to suggestion here. Okay, what nonsense is that? Lowers the quality of film. Find the fortune teller and make her repudiate the prediction. Okay, Timothy Lewis's happiness will increase by 40. We have security on the scene, so we should be able to do this. Because we have security on the scene, in fact, we can do this. If I didn't send security, I wouldn't be able to do this. Very interesting. So let's have that be a thing. We're protecting our investments, right? Protecting our films by adding security personnel. All right, let's see what happens here. David Gutman was in an accident. What happened to you, David? Come on, man. This isn't The Winner. Totally different film. He escaped with minor injuries, but he won't be able to work for some time. We already filmed over half the scenes with him, so we can't just easily replace him. So the only thing I can do here is wait for him to recover. The film will be stopped for 20 days. Okay, this is why it's good to have many films going at once. You don't want to rely on the success of one. You want 4, 5, 6 if you can afford it, all going at the same time, right? Now, Soundstage 2 is done in 100 days. I would like the rest of my sound stages to be Stage 2 if I can. I would like to see also, say, 50 days left on the quality. And then the scouting office is done in 290. Okay. Bodyguards. I want to get that too for top talent. Okay. Well, let's just let it go. Risk of leakage reduced. So now it's minimum risk. Significantly easier for him to do his job, apparently. All right. That's good. And Drink from My Skull is about to finish editing when Fred Carpenter, the mayor of Los Angeles, comes in. He says, took the family to see your latest movie last night. I gotta tell you, it was a lovely evening. I can't remember the last time my wife and daughter laughed so much. Sir, that was a thriller with a murder. I don't know why you're laughing at this, all right? What kind of sadistic family you got there, all right? I've only released one film, and it was a thriller with a murderer. Okay, anyway, it was like going to an amusement park, but it only took 2 hours instead of 6. Of course, that's every man's number one job, right? Keep the woman and the children happy, wouldn't you say? My daughter sure thinks so. She never stops reminding me, Dad, you promised to make me happy, and I'll only be happy if I can become an actress. Oh, I see where this is going. I swear she's been talking since she was 8, but she's already 19. I used to say, I don't have those kind of connections, sweetheart. But now I'm the mayor. I can't brush her off so easy. And what kind of mayor would I be anyway if I can't even make my own Wendy happy? Anyways, I'm asking you to put her in one of your movies. She's a clever girl, just like her pop. You tell her where to stand and what to say or whatever it is you do, and she'll handle everything beautifully. Just make sure to keep it decent, all right? Nothing dirty, right? I don't have anything against it. Business is business, but, this is my little princess, All right. So I'll give her a role and release the film within 2 years, but I can't guarantee it's a hit. Or I'll give her a role alongside a top actor and release the film within 1 year. I can't do that. Wendy's co-star must have 5 stars at least. No. I'll just release her in a movie, but I can't guarantee it's a hit. I think that's a better promise to make here. Oh, I understand that. If there was any business that gave you a sure thing, I wouldn't be a mayor. All right. So we got ourselves a little special interest here. And he's given us Wendy Carpenter. 19 years old. Super green. Okay. Thanks to her influential father, Wendy Carpenter is one step closer to her acting dreams. but it's best to shield her from the real Hollywood. We wouldn't want to break the little girl's heart. Break the girl's heart. Okay. Let's check in on the winner here. So Peter Harris used to work as a fireman, so he easily kicks the door down during the fight scene. It doesn't look spectacular enough. So it'll lower the artistic appeal, or it lowers the commercial appeal if we cut the scene, or we can order a stronger door for $300. And the filming will be 50% slower for 2 days. Well, it's only 2 days, and it's $300, and maybe it will work out well. I'm worried about the stronger door, though, because we might go too strong. Like, he's got to kick this thing, okay? I'm not sure that's the best call, necessarily, here. I'm trying to think ahead here. Like, all my time on set and the things we've done to make something better only for it to backfire, it happens a lot. At least as a student, it did. I'm going to go order the door. We'll see what happens. I feel like maybe that's a mistake. I feel like a little Akbar trap here is happening. We'll see. The winner. Let's see. Yeah, look at him. Yep. The armored door was too strong for Peter Harris. Crap. Injured his knee while filming the fight scene. We'll have to stop filming for 10 days. And now it's delayed. We could have just lost a little bit of artistic appeal. Probably would have been better for that. Oh my God. All right, post-production results for Drink from My Skull. Can we please get this movie out of here so I can stop saying the title of this movie? Just get it out the door so I can stop saying this. Drink from My... I mean, I can always change the name, but it might be too late now. Lewis Matthews. There you go. Level up there for you. Emma's leveling up. It's great. Emma's going to be an ace. Let's see. I mean, I'm looking for like the thumbnail that looks more like drinking from a skull. Maybe this is like a hand holding a head. I don't know. Let's just take care of it. All right. Now we get to control things a little bit, right? Now we get to do things without having our hands held. So we want to choose when this movie is releasing. We can see a variety of different genres of the other movies, as well as the timings for those other movies, as well as how they match up with ours. So if I place this here, for example, we can show it in our own theaters just fine because we're not showing anything else. But we're going to have to compete with other movies, and that means we can't show as many. Now, for this, that's enough anyway. I don't need to show any more movies in this anyway, so I'm fine. The thing is, though, we also need 5 weeks to print, and this is where we are now. So I'm not going to be able to show it here anyway. Probably the earliest I could do it is here. Probably. Because it's going to take a while to print. I could also accelerate it. But here's the thing about these two printers. If you look at the economics of it, if you take Irvine Film Factory, it costs $100 a copy, so it's cheaper. And it takes 5 weeks, so it'll do that. And then this is reserved, so you can't release the movie until it's printed. However, you could do express printing, which allows it to happen in 3 weeks, but it costs you $360 a copy. Thing is, if you're gonna hit this button, you might as well just use these guys, because Hesperia printing is $300 a copy, and they do it in 3 weeks for $300. So if you're gonna hit this button, you might as well just hire them instead. So that probably needs balanced in some reason, because there's no reason to ever hit this, right? At least the option needs to make sense in some situations, but it doesn't make sense in any situation to do that. I don't want to take up extra costs, so I'm going to go ahead and release it in 5 weeks, which means Drink from My Skull is going to release at this time. So at this time, this is what we're competing with, which really is nothing, right? We don't have a whole lot going on in this time period, so I like this. We're going to show it 100% in our own theaters for 4 weeks. That's completely free. We can get that many showings in our own theaters for that much. But now we need to pay for other screenings. And I don't exactly know how good a movie that's 3.5 and 2.5 is going to work with. It depends on our marketing and all that stuff too. So I'm going to have them show, let's say, 3,600 showings the first week. Let's do 3,400 the next week. And then we'll come down to, like, say, 3,400 the following after that. And then maybe like 2,700 from there. I don't know how much of a hit it's going to be, but at least I'm not paying for a ton of showings. This, however, is going to cost me $245,000 additional dollars. It's pretty expensive. Maybe I'll bring it down a little bit. It is expensive, after all, to have this many showings. We'll bring this down to, let's say, like this. Still 248, but save a little bit of money, I guess. Yeah, let's bring this down even more. 236. Let's do something like this. Because I'm expecting less people in the seats every week after this, okay? So it's going to be $227,000, all right? That's fine. We'll do that. So the next stage is advertising. Now, we have credits with advertising. So if I click this right here, for example, and I decide to advertise it, you know, let's say 2 weeks before the film, I have advertising credits already built in. So I don't have to choose advertisers. The studio before us already has this. But after 2 movies, I have to pay for all the advertising that I want. Okay? So since we've already got them prepaid, we might as well advertise it a lot, right? We might as well give it more advertising time. Advertise it while it's showing even. There's no reason not to, because we're not paying any extra to do it. But now we need to choose who our target audience is for A Drink from My Skull. It's a detective, romance, adventure movie. If I click this little eye symbol, which we have now, we can see a breakdown of everything that happened there too. Protagonist, antagonist, supporting characters, etc. This is a detective romance. Takes place in a modern American city. A cop chasing down a serial killer. And I think that's probably okay for, I think all adults is probably a way to play this. So we're going to target adults for this. And we're going to advertise it from October all the way through midway in the showing here. See if maybe that helps us in getting more people to watch it. All right. Confirm. So we'll target all adults with that and see what happens. Okay. Now, later on when we're paying for our own advertising, we might not be so, well, you might not do so much like that, right? Because that's a lot of money to advertise for that long. Peter Harris. Have you ever met Arthur Bernstein in person? Only a few actors and directors have ever heard his voice, even the ones working for his studio. He runs Bernstein Brothers through, that's the GB we were seeing, those other icons and stuff. Even the ones, what does it say? Through deputies. He runs this through deputies and assistants. They say he's like an emperor who never leaves his chambers. But last night, by surprise, he suddenly called me personally, and he offered me a contract to sign. Now, as you can imagine, he said all kinds of nasty things about our studio. You know, the most polite words he used were, I believe, garbage dump. I don't want to leave. I like it here, but I'd like to get a small reward for my loyalty. So if we can come up with a new agreement, I'm ready. If we can't come up with a new agreement, I'm ready to forfeit the $65,000 for early termination of my contract. Okay. So he's trying to poach you. And you want me to pay you to stay. So. Oh. This is lucky. The studio's previous owners had some black. I haven't been this far before I started recording, so I'm green now. The studio's previous owners had some blackmail material on this actor. You can use blackmail material if someone refuses to work with you or asks for too much. If you want blackmail material on anyone else, you'll have to dig it up yourself. Sex with a 15-year-old. Wow. She does look quite mature for someone so young. Maybe the judge will go easy on him. Peter. We can use this or we can pay you. Now, if we use this, it probably uses it up and we can't use it again. So if he does something else, well, I guess we'll get new ones, or if he gets offered again, we'll have to pay him anyway. I mean, I guess we'll pay him next time, right? Let's just use it because it adds 350 units of economic value to this scale and tips it in our favor. So I'm good with it. Let's just do that instead. All right. So he's staying on board with no additional cost just because we had some dirt on him. Fine. That works pretty well. And this is something that our security department, I believe, can also do for us later on. I was going to click a button, but now I'm interrupted again. The share prices of Vivin Pascal, Pierazola Company, and dozens of others have fallen by 30% at the end of trading in New York Stock Exchange. Right. This is 1929, right? We're in Great Depression times here. In a single day, panicked investors sold 13 million securities. Financial analysts predict the collapse of the American economy. Well, we just invented, sound cinema. So we're going to bring it back. All right. Everyone will love it. Actually, the delay on that is a pretty good thing because it means we can stagger our releases a little bit. So I'm all right with the delay on that film, actually. It'll lower the quality probably, but whatever. Script department. We now have 6 story elements in our story workshop. Very good. So we can get that going. There's another thing we could have done that I haven't been doing, so I need to do that now. But we're going to take a quick detour and go over here to rolling edits because I want this. Definitely want this. So we're going to pay that for 180 days on rolling edits. The other thing we should have been doing this whole time, and I've messed it up, is we should be going to our script department, and I'm not sure how to do it. Is it you? This. Chance of finding a story element for Walter West is 22%. So I can have him just sitting here doing nothing researching. Better chances on you. 31%. So we can find new story elements this way by having him look for it. But since he's lazy, it's less of a chance. Now, if he researches, I probably can't use him. Can we get a screenwriter, a script writer that can do this? Favorite genre is action. Okay. Lewis Rice. Actually, like the amount of money you're going to charge me here. Lewis, what's this? Undisciplined? I don't like that. I definitely don't like that. Calm Mind might be all right, but you like thrillers. Yeah, Randall, you like thrillers? Frederick Hunt. Is there anyone that has, I guess, a mixture of genres that would really help me? I mean, action and thriller, I guess. Yeah, you don't have any bad traits for you as a writer. I'm going to get Randall here. But this guy's so cheap, we might as well get him. Lewis. For $100 a month, I might as well get him. If nothing else, we can get him to research things, right? So Lewis, you're undisciplined, whatever. But for $100 a month, I actually kind of want to use you because you got really good loyalty and happiness and stuff. So you know what? Randall, and your calmness. 12%. Yikes. Wow, you guys have very little chances of doing anything. That's unfortunate. I really don't like that. So you're my comedy guy. I don't want to lose you right now. And Felix is too good too for all the films I want him to make in the future too. So that's not good. Yeah, I mean, like Walter being our romance dude, and I want to make a rom-com stuff, right? Like everybody's here. I don't want to have them doing that if there's such a low chance of success. Like doing this with 12% chance in 90 days, but am I going to use him? If he's just sitting here doing nothing, it might as well have a chance, right? So what's your strong suit? Thrillers? Yours was what? Action. All right. Let's get A Jester's Tale. A Jester's Tale is an action adventure. And we have Felix back now. All right. So do we want this to be the comedy writer to do this? Or do we want, I think, our action writer to do it? I forget what the balance was. It doesn't show me here, and I can't go back and, at least I don't think I can. Can I go back and, no. Oh, maybe I can. What's this button do? Here we go. Okay, so comedy, we can make it a little bit more comedy and a little bit more action. And maybe the comedy writer would do well with this now, right? I was going to say, what happened to all my cards? Now I have 6 story elements too I could work with. So because I've got 6 story elements, maybe I could get a theme. We don't have any different themes than before though. So it's not really, you could try the shootout, but this is like bullets and stuff. It doesn't really work for the fantasy kingdom thing. Maybe a prison break though, huh? Maybe we get locked up and we escape, huh? And we have to rescue the hostage. They're locked up. Hey, I like it. Escaping from prison or trying to, and then they end up rescuing the hostage. Hey, you know what? That works. I think that works, right? Let's get this, and we're gonna have the let's have the comedy writer do this. Yeah, we'll have the comedy writer do this. Looks like it's gonna take 70 days, but I want to get A Jester's Tale, working on. I want to get that worked on. So we'll get that happening. We have a bunch of ideas that have been submitted as well. We can look through those too, and just let the writers do what they do and see what happens. So thriller, cop on a tropical island. That's interesting. Our new Randall thriller writer can do this one, I guess. We'll get you to start writing that idea. And then we had that action writer, right? Was it action or yeah, action, but he doesn't like detectives. So the working man protagonist action movie. All right, we'll let Lewis take that one. I mean, they're not great writers, but we just need to get people going. We need things to be pushed out there. So we'll work on that. And then Felix, for 91 days, let's give you that 42% chance. We're going to have you research, see if you can't find me more story elements, okay? So we'll put you to work on that. We got other writers that can handle things. Because at the moment, we got 2 films in production, 3 scripts being written, 1 that's already in planning stages because the script's already done, and then we have 1 that's in printing. So we're not making any money yet, but it's in printing. Hi. In the winter, David Gutman brings a very noisy dog to the shoot. What is it with people bringing pets? Leave them at home, guys. The animal won't stop barking for a minute, unless it's whining or howling, morning to night. Most of the crew is praying the dog will die. Okay. Well, it seems to me that finding someone to walk the dog away from the set would be best. It improves loyalty, and the crew's happiness all goes up, and it only cost me $500. We should just do that. So let's just do that. I don't know. Like, that just has to happen, right? And this is part of that thing where... Uh-oh. Failed what? Oh, my God. Calvin, look, you had, like, decent chances. How are you hitting the red every time, dude? I don't know what the chances of you hitting red every single time on this is, but it sucks, okay? Do your job better. An unknown person called in a bomb threat. They said everyone will get blown up during filming unless we reduce the working day to 8 hours. Oh, come on. Fine, whatever. You couldn't call in the bomb threat when we were like 90% done with the film. You had to do it so super early. Just extending the amount of money I have to spend on this thing. It's ridiculous. You suck. Okay? So many more days I have to pay crew. It sucks. On location, we have to rent places out probably. It sucks. So yeah, this is going to cost me so much more money. I might just have to drop the damn film. Ugh. All right, Dancing in the Rain. The rating stayed the same. That's about as good as I can hope for here. Now this, by the way, is our film with our top talent. So we need to, you know, give them the tools they need to succeed, hopefully. All right. Because Audrey's in this film. All right. Timothy Lewis's happiness helped the thing not drop, I suppose. Let's send it to post. Can't get much worse. And we're going to put Emma on this again. I want to raise her up because she doesn't have the alcoholic. And I think Emma's going to be my ace at the end of the day here. Let's get... being a racist doesn't have anything to do with your ability to compose this. So your skill is objectively better. We're just going to do that. Yep. Give it the best chance to succeed. Here we go. And start post-production. Looks like it'll be done in 19 days. I can handle that. All right. So the film industry is a fickle bitch to me. All right. The Doppler's done. We have quality. Excellent. Now we can go to technologies. Now we get to use this while advancing it in other ways. Making the camera more practical allows it to be more maneuverable and potentially give us better shots. I would say it doesn't say that, but I would say that's probably what it does. So we could do that. More economical might lower costs and stuff too, I guess. I don't know. But we're going to go with practicality here, and we're just going to get that 200 days for research on that too. Then we're going to shift over, start working on sound quality while we can. Drink from my skull. I hope this is the last time I have to speak this title. Release the film. Off it goes to the theaters. It's getting a Kino mark of a C-. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean we picked the wrong audience. It just means the movie is shit. Because, I mean, look at it. It's crap. The movie with the most irritating sorts of flaws. The people behind this film don't even know the fundamentals of cinema. Indeed, I should doubt they've ever stumbled across the word refinement even once in their vacant little lives. The country's level of education and culture are already scandalous, but now the worst of the worst are increasingly turning their hands to filmmaking. Wow. Tell me what you really think. You sound like my YouTube comment section. All right, $421,300. Let's see if it even has a remote chance of turning out a profit here. I'd rather doubt it, but let's just see. Distribution department is done. Now, marketing and outreach opens the marketing and outreach building. We want to go ahead and build that when we can, kind of as soon as we can. Everything from this branch is completely locked for the demo, so we're going down to printing office. Might as well pay a little extra to get it a little faster. Not sure whether we even can get there. 1,000 days away, but we'll see about it. Real quick, let's go over and find our marketing and outreach building. It's going to cost us a little bit of cash, but we can make it work right there. Seems good. Let's go ahead and get that in there too. All right. Now, right away, we can see that Drink from My Skull is actually, I said it again, is a profitable movie. It has already gained us almost $200,000 after the first week we are profitable. So, great. We did a good job on cost savings and marketing and all sorts of things. It is actually a big hit. I don't know how, but it is. It's doing really well. All right, dancing. I mean, granted, I'm making movies that are cohesive, so I'm hoping that it all fits together as best as I can anyway. 4.0, 3.7, everything is going up. Dancing in the Rain, very nice. Audrey, I assume that you're responsible, but Jane is our protagonist, so she's got to be getting more famous now, yeah? Emma's up to 4.0. Very good. And Dancing in the Rain, this one. There we go. All right, let's pick a good time. And this is our big star, right? Our star's in this one, so we're going to give a good amount of marketing and everything for this too. We can maybe do it here. This seems like a good place for it. Because printing is going to take a while, but if we use the other printer, they'll print it in 3 weeks, which allows us to release the movie faster, which I kind of like. We could also start marketing immediately. So that's going to work too. So I'm going to say 100% of our own films. 100% of our own cinemas, right? Let's go ahead and really publicize this. We want a lot of showings here. I think we can make this happen. So we're gonna commit to a big expense here to see if we can make this work. Yeah, and maybe I'll give it one more week. We could do one more week here. That way we get more time for marketing. Film copies printed. Yeah, I mean, okay, we'll tell you what, we'll give it the full time here. It's still a nice slot. We don't have anything else right behind this, so it should be fine. And yeah, we're just going to want to sell as many tickets as we can here because we got the big talent into it. So yeah, let's spend. I know it's really expensive, but let's spend. And now we can use that final bit of marketing, final bit of advertising budget we have to just go big on it, okay? This is the final film the agency was hired to promote. After this, you'll plan and pay for your advertising yourself. What is this family targeted towards, right? It's a rom-com, right? You have love interests. You have rivals, but you have love interests and sweethearts staying together. This is a family movie, okay? This is not something that you have to have only adults for. I think this is good for the whole family. It's funny. There's all sorts of stuff here. We're going to target the whole family for this one. And we're marketing it for a long time to really build up the film and give it the best chance of success with a lot of ticket sales. So, go. After this now, no more advertising budget. Or rather, we have our own advertising budget that we have to pay for now. It's going to be up to us to pay for it. On one single evening in Detroit, 105 people died of alcohol poisoning. Among the deceased is the renowned actor Harry Warren. The media is blaming the management of the Boxler plant for the incident. They'd taken a mixing poison into industrial alcohol to combat the theft of solvents. This is Prohibition era, right? Era. Investigators from the Bolt newspaper believe that the poisoned alcohol somehow found its way into the underground bars of Los Angeles as well. Director Michael Webb commented on the incident in Fun Times magazine. For the death of my friend and colleague, I ask you to blame the idiot congressman who voted for prohibition. I'd like to hear what they say when something like this happens to their children. Now, Michael Webb, why was he a tag word? Is he one of our guys? Is that why? Oh, hang on. Okay, cool. If we could kindly remove this risk entirely from the equation, like bring it down, forever, that'd be great. I'd really like to burn that secret now. Headquarters is there. Mid-level protection. Well, if we do get discovered, at least we got lawyers now. So the legal department, the only thing I can do is high-level protection, so I guess we'll have that run. It's the only thing I can do here for this. All right, so we got security right there. That's good. Producers. I don't have... this guy's a decent producer, actually. Disciplined. Good rate. I think I want Lonnie on my team. Let's get him for 3 years. We could get another good film with Lonnie here, too. He's a good producer. 3 years is what I want, yeah. I don't have any services yet. Probably should build that building. I've had it available to build for such a long time. Probably should build that, yeah. Let's go ahead and get him on for 3 years. And then let's build the services building. There we go. Maybe even getting Anthony in here too. He's modest. I like Anthony, right? We talked about this. I wanted to get Anthony. We're gonna get Anthony on this too, because we're gonna be making a lot of movies together, Anthony. You and me. So let's get you in here, and we'll pay you. It's fine. I like the modest guy. All right, I like somebody who doesn't have a huge head on their shoulders. Negative self-importance, apparently. All right, good. This guy's very calm. Another good producer. This guy's dirt cheap. Holy crap, we're getting him too. He's so cheap. Did you see his price? He's basically working for gum. Like, I mean, 3 years of gum. But, I mean, I don't know what cost for 3 years of gum. Probably less than $2,000. But I get this guy for 3 years for $2,000. Yeah, you're joining me too. So I got plenty of producers now. No big deal there. And I can even put multiple producers on these films, like Rotten Fates, which is just sitting here doing nothing right now because I haven't had the soundstage. I'd really like to get the soundstage before I use Gabriel Keller, so we're going to wait on that. I want the level 2 soundstage if I can get it. And then the location scouting as well. I think I want to get that done before we do it too. So 214 days left on the scouting office. All right. So check out, I'm going to say this title again. Check out Drink From My Skull. It is doing awesome. Okay. But you can see the rapid decline. Okay. We have good audience here. Great audience here. Still 100% of tickets sold. This means we didn't have enough screenings, right? We should have had more screenings for this film. But I had no way of knowing. But we should have had more screenings. But now, even at 6,000 here, right, we have almost the same. But now we're only filling 39% of the seats. Okay? I think because of the rapid decline right here, we could probably cut our losses here. Or not really losses. We can get out while we're ahead, right? Because I feel like if we try this again, it's going to dip into our profits. We're probably going to end up having a loss. I realize we're making a lot here, but I see this decline happening really quickly. We could test that theory, though, by just simply extending it and finding out. But I have my doubts on that. And I have another film that's coming up, too. So I also don't want to say this name again. So Drink From My Skull. That's the last time. I swear. We're going to end your distribution there. I'm good with it. 1.4 million in profit. Seems good, man. That gets added to our budget up top. And we're up to $24 million. And then, of course, Dancing in the Rain is coming up behind it in 24 days. And then we've got a lot of scripts and stuff here, yeah? So there's a lot of stuff going on in the game. I hope you guys can appreciate this. We're going to wrap it up here. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Hope you'll join me for the next one. Bye-bye.